Namaskar, hello, and a very warm welcome to CIET NCERT's special live series on Cyber Jagrookta Diwas. My name is Tanvi Khurana, and this is a program where we discuss a lot about the cyber safety and security. Our today's main topic is elements of digital citizenship. Well, what exactly is digital citizenship? Well, we have an expert with us, and she'll be talking throughout 1 hour on this topic. If you have any questions, any queries about its definition, about its feature, about its future, then you can ask, raise your questions. Just give us a call on our number, which is 8800440559. If you want to reach us through email, then the email ID would be cybersafety@ciet.nic.in. Let me tell you, at this moment, you're watching us on PM eVidya channel number 6 to channel number 12, and also on our YouTube channel, which is NCERT Official. In the live chat box of the channel, if you'll write certain questions and share them with us till 5 o'clock, we'll be sharing those questions with our expert, and I'm sure she'll be more than happy to answer all your doubts, all your queries. Let me introduce our today's guest with all of you. She is Ms. Anindita Mishra. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Namaskar.
Namaskar. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. We are happy to be with you, to have you on this platform, ma'am. Ma'am is a consultant from Cyber Peace Foundation, and this entire program initiative is by CIET NCERT and Cyber Peace Foundation. Well, we all know that this is not just police's responsibility to make us secure cyber-wise. It's our responsibility as well. So we always get the messages that do not share your passwords. That is the trick. Please be safe as far as you can, so that you don't get trapped into the web of the hackers. Am I right, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's just begin this conversation. And ma'am, because our topic is elements of digital citizenship, would you like to define digital citizenship for for our viewers, as in the layman's language? And also, what exactly are these elements that we are going to discuss in this particular program?
That is exactly the purpose of this presentation, because we are all citizens of some other country. Most of us are from India. We know what being an Indian means, what we have as our rights and what we have as our duties. But we are also using a lot of devices. We are on the internet. We are continually exchanging information. So from that point of view, we are digital citizens. But then we do not have that kind of knowledge about what does digital citizenship entail. What is it all about? What is the area of which is the area of the country where we are citizens of? Is it a defined area? What are the laws and regulations guiding us? Is there some kind of constitution by which we should abide by? There are quite a few doubts and confusions in the mind of people, even among those who are very adept at using these devices, So digital citizenship is therefore become very necessary, as more than you might be aware, 658 million Indians are online today, and the number is galloping, simply galloping. We have more people doing transactions online than the whole population of the United States of America. So many people online just from India. You can imagine what this whole number would be if we take a global view of it. So where are we going? How are we conducting ourselves? We need to know. In schools, we have social studies right from the primary classes, where you are teaching the students all about the parts of the society, starting with your house, your neighborhood, your schools, your place where you stay, the city or town, then your state, the country. And you go on like this till you study about the whole world. We don't have such laid down rules about the citizenship of the digital world. Today I'm going to talk about this digital citizenship.
Okay, yes.
So let's go on then. I would like quoting Kathy Carnival. She's the coordinator for Educational Tech, Santa Clara Unified School District, when she talks about digital citizenship and why it is important in today's world. She makes a very succinct point. She says that it is important for the 21st century skills because being a 21st century citizen means you can collaborate and communicate, and you need to do that not only the people you face, but with the people you encounter online. And that is where digital citizenship comes in. When you are working in an organization, when you are in a school, when you are in a college, when you are interacting with friends and family, there are a limited number of people you are interacting with. And what is interaction? It is nothing but person A passing on information to person B understanding that information and passing on the response to person A. So this kind of information is exchange is continually going on. And this will help us to understand how digital citizenship has become a very important topic today. It denotes that we, the digital citizens, know and are able to use digital tools to engage with the digital world in an effective and critical manner. Now, these 4 points are very important. Knowledge. Knowledge means how. That is digital literacy. You know how to read and write. That is normal literacy. Digital is how to operate devices, how to type in what you want to know, how to share that with the correct person, and how to use the response that you get. The digital tools you have are your devices, your security software, and the internet that you're using, and your servers. What are the competent and critically comes in? Competently means effectively, and critically in an uniform and informed manner, so that there is no ambiguous out there, like she said something but the other person understood something else. Then there will not be any successful flow of communication, there will be chaos. To promote a healthy digital online atmosphere, healthy communication is important. We have to know how to communicate, where to communicate, and in what way to communicate. So mannerism is very important because just because in the digital world, but hidden behind our devices, so nobody knows who we are, it does not give us the freedom to go ahead and say what we want, how we want, and to whom we want. It calls for a positive and respectful attitude, and it also calls for accountability, something we don't take into account most of the time. For example, in the real world, I'll keep comparing with the real world to give you the clear picture. In the real world, if you are driving a car, you need to follow the traffic rules. There are those traffic lights that tell you red means stop, green means go, orange means be alert. You follow the rules, and if you break the rules, you will be penalized. If you do not follow the rules and you meet with an accident or because of you somebody suffers, you are accountable. The laws ensure that you are accountable and you have to pay for that. In the digital world, if your actions lead to negative reactions, you are again accountable, but most people think that they are not because nobody knows who has done that. That idea, the perception has to change. You have to be responsible citizens in the digital world too, and so we need to know how to behave in the world and how to take account for an ownership of what we do and what we say. We have to ensure that our actions do not breach the rights and dignity of everybody using the digital world. You know, there should not be a privileged section who can say or post anything, because I might post something that suits me, but does it harm the other person? So there's a mantra I always give to everybody who listens to me at every seminar, and I'm sharing that with you. Stop, think, click. At every point when your fingers are itching to type on your phones, or you want to reply to somebody who has made a very acerbic comment, stop. Think about it. Does the other person require to hear what you are saying? Did you understand the point correctly? Is the person sharing something right or something abusive? Do you need to report it? Do you need to ignore it? It will give a lot of of thinking before you jump into it. Like, for example, people troll others, people create problems for others when they write without thinking some kind of a misinformation they post online. Quite a we know the Queen expired yesterday, but before that, so many times people posted on social media, the Queen is no more. But nobody tries to take accountability of the fact that if I share such a news and if that news turns out to be false, then I am responsible for spreading false news. This is what you have to understand in the concept of digital citizenship. You are responsible for whatever is coming out of your social media platforms. And for India to be seeing success in its Digital India program, we have to become empowered and ennoble. Ennoble means we learn more, empowered means we know how to use the correct digital tools at the correct time and for the right purposes. So what are the rules? Now, we don't have a social study class for digital citizenship, so let us do a quick social studies for digital citizenship right now. So what are the things that make a digital citizen stand out? What do you have to have? I call them the 3 A's and 3 C's. Accessibility, ability, appropriate actions, and the C's are critical thinking, care, and correct knowledge. This makes it very easy for you to remember the 3 A's and 3 C's. Accessibility. There should be tools available to the last person in the country. So there has to be, already internet penetration is very high in India, but it has to reach the remotest man in India so that even they can use it for their benefit. Ability. Now, just having a device will not do. I have seen there are so many people, unfortunate people, who are not literate, cannot read and write, but they also have their phones. So they make the basic calls with their phones. But they have grown smart over the years. They have learned that if somebody says the name of a caller, next to it they can put an icon, a smiley icon or a home icon or something, so that it will help them to remember the name of the caller. See, we evolve with time, and even the ones who are not literate are working on this. COVID-19 did innumerable harm, but it also brought about faster acceptance of digital mode of education and payment. I have found so many greengrocers and other shops using the QR codes for payment so that there is no touch involved, as everybody has become very aware after the COVID pandemic of the last 2 years. So this ability, the same people you have asked them 3 years ago, or will you be accepting payment by, say, GPay or Paytm, and they would say, no, absolutely not, I don't understand all of these, and they are happily doing it. Why? Because a little bit of explanation, a little bit of training, and they can join the bandwagon. You have to take appropriate actions. Actions means you should be knowing what to do when. Critical thinking is very important because you need read a lot of WhatsApp. Most of us get a lot of WhatsApp messages. Drink this empty stuff in the morning and this disease will be cured. Do that every day, and the bad effects of such and such sun, moon, planets will be moved. And smart people will write at the end, forwarded as C. That is not a disclaimer, because if its content is not right, you have no business sending it forward. Even if you think somebody may be helped by it, please do not send, because you're not then acting as an informed and educated person. An informed and educated person will first check, is it correct information? If they're not sure, they will check online. If they still do not know, they will do a back search. Go to the person who has sent and said, are you sure this is correct? And only when they know that this is authentic and correct, will they forward it or share with other people. Be caring. Have empathy for people online. Do not behave as if you are the Lord and Master, and correct knowledge. So the correct knowledge is important, because if you know wrong things and you share wrong, you will not know how you are adding to the chaos in the world. Correct knowledge of using security is important. Correct knowledge of when to use platforms, at what age, what are the terms and conditions to expect, and what are the terms and conditions one should not sign to. This makes a big difference. The internet has made the world a global village. As I was telling you, that digital citizenship has no boundaries. We cannot limit them to say only India or to say only Asia, because today you are sitting here and you may be doing online courses from the Harvard University. You are sitting in India and you may be chatting with friends all across Europe and Australia. There is no limitations. Even the cyber criminals, they may be in one country and they may be using servers in another country to talk to you or to attack you, and you will not be able to reach those people. So therefore, the global village is a very important concept to keep in mind when you're online, because whatever you do, the digital footprints are going to remain online, and it is going to be known by others too. Now, this Ryzen and Kazarka, in their global citizenship research, they have got these points on which I have broadened to include the digital citizenship aspect. They say that a global citizen today should be aware. What should you be aware of? The development in the tech sector, the latest that is happening, and also the latest in cyber threat. They should be kind, says Raisin and Kaczarska, and I use empathy, acceptance, and diplomacy, all of these in this value of kindness. Empathy, not sympathy. Sympathy is downward looking. Sympathy is when you feel sorry for somebody. Empathy is at par when you have feelings. I understand your words, your body language, everything. Say, I understand where you are coming from. Accepting other people. There cannot be any bias. Oh, they are from that place. Those people are always like that. No. Accepting people who have different thoughts, ideologies, race, and temperament compared to you. Be diplomatic in your words and choice of words. If you are not diplomatic, you will not be able to get across your messages. So you have to know that if you write to somebody rudely, you're hurting that person. And that hurt can reflect in many ways. That person can become depressed. In turn, that person can go and hurt somebody else, getting angry, become aggressive. So kindness matters. Cultural diversity is in this world. Everybody is different. You have to learn to be tolerant and learn from each other. Every day is a learning experience. Just because I am a person who has certain beliefs, religious beliefs or cultural beliefs, does not mean that I will not accept the beliefs and ideas of others. They have their beliefs, they have grown up with them. To them, those beliefs and ideologies are important. And as a digital citizen, it is my first duty to accept them, respect them, and tolerate them. Focus on sustainability. Digital citizenship can do wonders in bringing about the dream of a sustainable world. We can become so energy efficient if we are going to use AI and ML to do a lot of our work and to use tech to make our life simpler and use less of our limited resources. Social justice, over the years there is going to be a gap, a digital divide between those who are digital literate and know how to use digital tools, especially the tools of security and safety, and those who don't. So those who know how to use the tools in time will be the ones who will be comparatively safer than those who do not or will not. There are many people who are still against using any kind of cybersecurity tools, so they are the ones who may be affected. Now the problem online is, if they are affected, then they are the ones who can pass on the problem to all of us, because we might be on one of their contact list or on their friends' contact list. So if somebody has clicked on a pop-up that says 50% discount sale going on, and they've clicked on it, what happens is all the contacts on their social media app will receive that same link immediately. You might have seen that happening. And some of them again will click on them and they will come to their contact list. So because of one person who did not perform a safe task, so many people online got compromised. That is why we need to be responsible. Our actions can have repercussions, like waves, a small wave or bigger waves. We do not know how big it will go, to what extent it can do good or even bad. So all the time we got to measure our online actions so that we are accountable for our actions. If we are accountable, we will be careful to do the right thing. We should be respectful and responsible. So what is being responsible? Responsible are the 5 R's. I'll give you some easy tips to remember the topics by. The 5 R's. You can discuss with all the children in school, at home, and your neighborhood. Then these are the things you practice at home, and these are the things you practice online too. Because after all, cyber safety, cyber education, digital citizenship is nothing but an extension of your real life citizenship into the digital world. So what are the responsibilities online? You've got to maintain your reputation. You put prints on the sands of time. Why the famous poem, Songs of Life, had said, great people leave behind footprints so that lesser people like us can follow them and learn from them. But the footprints you leave behind in the digital world will only be marked as one of your character aspects. So if you are going to be very oversharing online, if you are going to take part in quarrels, trolling, cyberbullying or cyber-abusing, or unnecessarily passing on malinformation, your reputation is marked. So be careful, because that affects your online persona, the way people perceive you. They may be your employers, or whenever you are applying for higher education. They all go through social media profiles to get an idea of you. Rest, which we have already discussed, continue to be respectful in every way and everything you do. You have to respect the community guidelines. Like I tell you, Facebook has terms and conditions of Facebook says that unless you're 13, you cannot sign up. But there are several children online who are below the age of 13 who have signed up. Their parents are often aware of it, but they let go. What can happen to children online? If they are safe, they are at home, they are just communicating. 13 is, these children are very smart and mature at 10. That is their idea. But you see what you are telling your children? It is okay to break rules if it suits your purpose. Tomorrow when your child goes to the real world and break rules, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. Just because there is not a police standing there and stopping you, hey, stop, not allowed, does not mean you stop. Or not mean you continue. Sorry, it means you will stop yourself. And there are community guidelines. If you read the community guidelines of Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Snapchat, you will find that they tell you that you have to be cordial, respectful, and not harassing or abusive of other users. If you do not like something, keep your opinion to yourself. You have to appreciate the others' views and activities also. Think. Stop, think, click. You think on what will be the outcome of your post and other activities before you work. Sometimes every day I find there are people who continue to send good morning messages. So you get up in the morning and you check your WhatsApp and you find, oh my God, there are 500 messages. Why? Because each group will have at least 7 or 8 people who would be sending you pictures or videos with good morning written on them. Now, these are all junk that is being creating. One word of good morning from one person will do for the whole group. These are some of the rules we need to learn. Not everybody can need to say good morning. Somebody can share something else. Somebody can just share a picture. Keep these things in mind. How can we make a life clutter-free? There is clutter in your social media space also. That clutter acts on your mind. You feel, completely, overstressed when there is too much of social media happening. You are listening on to people's conversations. You are checking out what people are doing, their performances, their education qualifications, their job, their trades, their holidays. And you start wondering, hello, am I missing out on something? My life is so dull compared to this. And then you start feeling overwhelmed. So you think about, do I need to spend so much time online? Do I need to go through? You need to know how to report to online portals so that anything abusive or negative going on online can be removed. It is your duty. Every privilege, internet and a device are privileges. And as a privileged person, you have to fulfill some duties, just like the rights we have as a citizen of India. We have 6 rights and we have corresponding duties. Our duty is to ensure that we work safely, we use security tools, and we find any false information, fake profile, impersonification online, we report that to that particular channel, log that identity, and make the others know. Also, along with this, children should be taught to be resilient. Resilience matters because, yes, wherever we are, wherever there are people, there will be negativity. It is important, very important to know how to be tough so that the negativity does not push us down. For this, we need to give a lot of love to our children and build up their confidence level so that they accept themselves the way they are. Fair, fat, thin, tall, short. These don't make up a person. The character does. Instead of focusing on the outward look and having a number of skills, focus on building a strong character and a child who is grounded and strong, so that the child can stand up against bullies and say no to cyberbullying. The child can accept negative statements and know how to take them out of their mind, and the child will know how to tackle with such negativity. Resilience is one of the most important responsible behavior online. Just like we have in the real world things you should do and things you should not, the same thing is there in the digital world too. Now in the real world, we teach our children, do not tell lies, do not steal from others, do not go where you are not allowed to go, please ask for permission before leading a class that is running or before entering a class that is on. Please ask for permission before leaving your own country. We need to have a passport, a visa. Please do not spread rumors. These are the things we keep telling our children. How many of us do that for our children online? We don't, because we ourselves are not aware that there are do's and don'ts in the social media world. You know, the simple do's and don'ts is, do not write in caps when you are talking. Some people write only capital letters on Facebook, Insta, on say WhatsApp. Caps means you are shouting. These are small things, but they make a big difference. Also, I have found the digital age children, now the young people who are born with devices in their hand almost. Devices are their appendage, extension of their body. Many of them are not very clear how to write formal emails to their employers or to their bosses or senior people when they are talking. They use emoticons, emojis in their emails. It is completely not accepted. You do not use emojis unless they are informal, friendly letters. So these are social media etiquette for writing emails. For all other social media, you have to be mindful. I like telling young people when I have on offline sessions with them that you be like Rajnikant, who keeps saying mind it, you will also mind it online. Mind what you say, mind who you say it to, and mind how you say it. So be mindful of your actions online because they have repercussions and there are consequences. If you just got a naughty message from somebody containing inappropriate pictures and you found it funny, you may want to forward, but before that, do not just forward without giving it a thought. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is the content safe? Will it fall in the wrong hands? Or is it legal, allowed to share such content? When there is a sport happening, if somebody calls you a liar, somebody calls you a big fat liar on social media, are you going to immediately jump in and respond? Or you to react with a lot of red, angry faces, or call them back some abusive name? Or you to take your time, think, and respond? The first thing he's going to do is step away from yourself and see, have you done something wrong? Before you act angry, examine yourself and examine where the speaker is coming from. Maybe they did not perceive what you mean to say. See, perception is a two-way game. When I'm talking to you face to face, you are seeing my face, you are seeing my smile. Am I being naughty? Am I just trying to, play you? Or am I coming from a place where this is the way we talk? You can hear, you can read my body language, see my expressions. But when you are typing messages, all these things are not seen. So, there are some people who end all their sentences, English sentences with na. I was so bored now, but that is not there in English. Somebody who speaks proper English will wonder, why have they ended the sentence with a noun? Is it yes or is it a no? So this is how small things can make a big difference. You would say something in jest, you thought it was very funny, very sarcastic, but the other person thought it was, you were humiliating them. So you have to learn first to think before you react, empathy before, and not apathy. Apathy, you don't care. Empathy, yes, you care. Tolerate other thoughts. If you are not understanding, at least tolerate other thoughts. Do not try to put a stop to it by saying, no, you are wrong. That is not the way to go about it. Everybody has a different thought. Together we make the world complete and beautiful. Hate is not a thing that has to exist in digital world. Sorry for that. Fake is a very important problem in today's world. There are fake people, fake messages, fake IDs. You have to learn to select what is fake and what is not. And these are the tools that we will be empowering you with, that will tell you that the fake ones, the fake IDs can be of a real person. So somebody like me, say Ananta Mishra, you saw me today, and somebody can go ahead, take this picture down, take my name down, create a Facebook ID and send you a friend request. And he said, yeah, I saw Ananta Mishra today, so therefore this is a genuine person. But the person who created it is a fake, not Ananta Mishra. So therefore that person is an impersonifier. And a fake ID is somebody takes somebody else's name and creates an ID. Fake news, any news is taken out of context, twisted and shared, and it becomes news. Like Bengaluru rains were happening, we were seeing pictures of people traveling by tractors. And so what happened, what I saw was, I got some of videos where people took pictures of floods in any part of India, some even from outside India, and shared them as Bengaluru floods. Just because they did not have any video and they also wanted to share. Everybody wants to be, breaking news person. Everybody wants to be the one who gave the news. You are not in media. Nobody is waiting for news from you. So slow down, check, and then forward. Be concerned about what is happening online. Don't be indifferent. And accept, don't be inflexible on your ideas. Inflexible means you will not budge from what you know to be true. You have to learn to accept that in today's world, everything is changing. Ideas as we knew it are old-fashioned and obsolete now. The new world have new thoughts, new ideas. Children today have new perspectives. You've got to be acceptant of that, and you've got to change our own thoughts and beliefs accordingly. And as I said before, always, always, always be positive, stop, think, click. That will keep you safe online. Digital tool of security is awareness of cyber safety. How can you be aware of what is happening? Stay aware is you follow cyber safety personnel and experts. There is certain by Government of India, cyber doors, we have CPF, I own handle Mission Cyber Safety. We all continually share messages on the latest happening in the cyber sphere. And with that knowledge, you will be safe and you'll be able to keep the children safe also. Children also need to know that they are not hiding behind any device, that there is an IP address and there are legal consequences of many action. Like there was in Mumbai, there was a spat between boys over a girl, and these are all school boys, and one boy did what? He hacked into the Facebook account of the other boy and started spreading rumors and canals from that handle. So this boy's parents approached the police school, they could not help, they approached the police, and the police checked the IP address of the sender, and they got hold of the perpetrator. And this poor child, because it was a minor, was given certain smaller punishment, but it happens. And the bigger the problem, like last 2 years back, there was this boys' locker room problem, all the 6 perpetrators were dealt with. So every action has to be thought out well. That is being cyber safe. Parents can set rules in school, at home, about when to use the screen time, not taking devices to bed, about no screen hours when friends come visiting or when they have dinner together, about balancing screen life by having fixed screen time daily and interspersing that with education and curricular, extracurricular activities. Schools can also organize, they are organizing digital awareness sessions, and children have to carry phones often to schools and their laptops also for some reason. So the schools have rules like no connecting to the internet with the devices off during class are strict rules so that they are not misused. How do you keep your devices and data safe? To keep your devices and data safe, the first thing is to do is have strong and long passwords. They are a mix of capital letters, small letters, numbers, and special letters, characters. So if you have a mix of strong and long alphanumeric character, you will be safe. For example, a very easy one is, if I use my surname Mishra, but I remove I and A, the vowels, let me use that to show how I can create immediately a password. MSHR. These are the 4 consonants I have. So what do is, I start with hashtag capital M, hashtag capital S, hashtag small h, hashtag small a, @ 2022, hashtag asterisk 3. It's a long one and very difficult to break. So therefore, passwords are your key. You have got to be careful what key you are going to use and where you are going to keep the key. You have to enable 2-factor authentication for all accounts, whether it be your email or all your social media accounts or your banking account. A 2-factor authentication keeps you safe. You do not save any of your login IDs on your phone, and that is a given, and block pop-ups or extensions. They should always ask for permission. The biggest way malware enters your device, the major ways are through your downloads, through the links that you click on, through pop-ups that you click on. So every time you have this option of open a pop-up or a link sent to you by somebody, or even if it's a trusted person, or a pop-up that comes on your screen saying there are discounts or there are freebies being given out, step back, because the moment the word free comes in, it means you are the product. No, nothing is free in this world. There are no free lunches. So if you are the product, your details are being harvested. Use safe browsing mode for children. There are many kid-friendly browsers, and avoid risky websites. Stick to well-known websites. For your devices, change all the default login details when you get your new router, new phone. you have to ensure that you create new passwords immediately. And second thing, install security software. And that should not be a free one, but a licensed one. Scan for malware before you connect any external device to your phones or your laptops. Always pin protect your phone. Do not leave them unattended for long times. Charging points also are very, they are the points from where your data may be stolen. So be careful at free charging points. And whenever you are disposing of a device, suppose your phone has become old, your laptop or your computer, remember to hard clean it. Hard clean it is first you clean all data, then you use a bit eraser or some other trusted app to do a double and triple cleaning so that it will not be easy for any computer expert to retrieve data in it. How can we parents and teachers be enablers, help children become? You know, children keep saying, oh, yo, aapke zamane ka hai, you don't understand. We of course understand. We have an added power. We have foresight. We know what can happen. We see long distance. So we can help our children by teaching them good values, which will come to be of use at home and in the digital world too. As we already talked about, it is called respect, inclusivity. Just because somebody is not a male or female does not make a person to be laughed at. You have to be inclusive of transgender or any other person they come across. Be kind, be diplomatic and truthful online to the best possible way. But it's not as truthful as a stranger asking your name and address and you share that. No, truthful is not sharing false messages. Help them build confidence and teach them how to tackle online evils. The best we parents can be enablers is by being role models. Let us not spend too much time on our WhatsApp and Facebook. We need to control ourselves. Teachers can help a lot. Children look up to teachers to learn from them. If the teachers tell them, the children come home and say, yes, my teacher told me so. So that is written on the stone. So therefore teachers can tell them, whatever the teachers tell them about being good digital citizens, keeping the digital space clean, asking for permission before tagging a photograph, about plagiarizing. This is something teachers should always talk about. Do not just copy paste from the internet, internet websites. Please give credit to the person you have copied from. That is most important. Otherwise, it is stolen work, and stolen work should not be given marks. Before forwarding, check for the truth, and otherwise do not forward. So these are the tools and knowledge that we need to give the children to empower them. And children can also form cyber armies and cyber corps to help each other. What is the future of the digital world? There's a huge future because every day we are rushing into this digital world. Facebook has changed its name to Meta. Not because they're going to do a Meta augmented reality person on actual world, but only in the augmented reality versions of us in the Facebook world. But you know, when you are doing, the metaverse is a dream where instead of me sitting here, it can be a hall where all our avatars would be sitting and I would be standing on the podium, my avatar would be standing there. And they'll be having a conversation. There's a dream that will happen in the future. And the way science is progressing, it can happen anytime soon. We are aware, are armed with the right tools and armed with the right knowledge, we can become good digital citizens and enforce stronger digital rights and duties and stay safe and be ready for the meta world to come. And the world is rapidly getting digitalized. We have so many. See, if you are looking at Facebook ads, you will see today if you are going to search for, say, a handbag, tomorrow you will get ads for thousands of handbags. Where are they getting them from? They are getting them from your searches. So they are using AI and machine learning continually to, refine their targeting, marketing strategies. So this is what I'm going to leave you with. Change is the only constant. Change is going to happen, and please do not walk away from changes. Allow the world to change, allow yourself to change along with it. What we need to do is change our attitudes, we need to change our perceptions and strategies to moderate and accordingly adapt ourselves to the digital world and ensure that our children turn out to be model digital citizens. Here is where you can find our Cyberforce Army on Twitter, on Facebook. Here, this is our student volunteers fighting to keep the cyberspace free of threats and keep it sanitized. Please do sign up. And for more information, you can contact Cyberpeace NGO on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And with that, I end my session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for a wonderful presentation. So we have got some time left and I've got a few queries. So should I ask you those?
Of course.
Okay. So one more thing, this is not a query, but just for information for all the viewers, towards the end when you mentioned that there is Facebook and Twitter accounts you showed, if there's anyone who needs help, is there any direct contact number through which one can contact your foundation for any kind of help?
Yes, there is the Cyberpeace Foundation helpline number. I will just share that with you. Meanwhile, if you can, okay?
Sure, sure. We'll wait. In the meanwhile, I'll ask you something else. So, like you said that awareness is the key, and you even mentioned that the netizens, they need to make their passwords secure, and there are words, there are alphabets, there are other kind of letters that are used to make one password strong. In how much duration one needs to change these passwords, and should they change it for all their social media accounts, or only the bank wallets or the Paytm kind of apps that needs to be re-registered?
See, for Paytm, Digi wallets and all, I would request people to ensure that you keep a daily limit in your bank as to how much money there can be transferred to a third-party account, so that even if your account, the wallets get hacked, you will end up losing only a defined amount. This is very important to do. All right? Okay. And about the pins of these, every time you suspect that your pin may have got compromised, do change. As for your passwords, you may change password. People tell you that passwords can be changed every few months, say 4 or 5 months, up to 6 months. But if you play it very strong, yes, 6 months, then banks will ask you to change your passwords every 6 months.
Okay, okay. So that's advisable to change the passwords within 6 months. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Ma'am, you said that there are so many fake profiles on social media platforms. So can we say that all the profiles are fake and all the people, they are a threat, and the strangers, one should not believe strangers so easily for sure, but do all strangers are like that?
I don't know. Not everybody online is a fake. I am there online, you are there online. I'm certain that we are not fakes here. So initially, when people go online, it is advisable, especially children, those who are minors still, should not make friends beyond their known circle. Right? If the people they know well in real life are the ones they should befriend online. Because what happens is very difficult to know a fake profile. Supposing, take the example of a young girl who's around 13, 14, very vulnerable, just in her teens, and she gets a Facebook request for somebody who looks like, say, who is the latest heartthrob, I do not know. We knew Shah Rukh Khan in our times, okay? And somebody who says, I like Shah Rukh Khan, just like her picture or send her a plus, and she'll be so over the horizon on this. Like, I got a like from somebody, and then they send a photograph, exchange photographs, or they send a friendship request, and they accept. Or it can be on any other man or any other girl also. In fact, I'm not saying it's just a boy. It can be a girl with similar interests. Now, if I am tracking you, I will be seeing what kind of interest you have, what kind of pictures you post, what kind of things you like, and then I create a profile accordingly, So if a girl likes watching movies, singing songs, I create a profile where I also do some things like that. I share my music, videos, and I will share photographs of me attending music videos. So when when I send a friendship request to the girl, she'll think, oh, hey, we have similar interests, so let me be friends. And then the friendship starts, but then that person may not be a girl at all. That person may be a man, a groomer, who is just waiting to groom a person. So for you kids, we advise only known people, and for people who are below 13, they should not have their accounts. None of the social media platforms allow children below 13 to become members. And if the parents want, parents should open their accounts and allow children to do their activities through that account.
Okay, all right, okay. Ma'am, one of the points you mentioned in your presentation is that there are certain people, they write in caps, so that means, you said that means shouting. Is it the only perspective you have, or can we say that when people write in caps, they're highlighting something, and not in the negative sense, maybe in the positive sense? So is it some kind of a code that people need to understand while messaging or chatting on social media platforms?
Glad you brought it up, because I had forgotten to include that.
Yeah.
You see, what happens is sometimes people do write in caps to highlight a particular point. Okay. Now that means the conversation is running. Within that, a particular point has been highlighted. Now, then it is a different matter altogether. It's again, as I told you, a matter of perception. But when two people are talking, two people talk to each other, or who may be having a kind of an argument, when suddenly somebody starts writing in caps there, it may give the impression that that person is shouting, talking in a loud tone. And a loud tone is not acceptable. So it all depends situation to situation. So that is why I brought it up, saying that even small things like that can make a difference to your conversation. Communication gets hampered.
Okay, all right. That was actually a good point. And because we all are on social media, so we should understand the language that people use. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now would you like to share the direct number?
Yeah, once again, I will just ask for it. And I'd also like to tell you before that there are also government numbers which people should be aware of.
Okay.
Like 181, 112, 1930 for reporting frauds. And there's a site, cybercrime.gov.in. There's cybercrime.gov.in, where you can report any kind of cybercrime immediately, either in your own name or anonymously or for another person, and along with evidence. So if you're taking screenshots, and along with the screenshot giving the dates and the flow of the action, if you share that, they will immediately get back to you and take this up. So use that. So the Women's Helpline number, that also you can submit, report to Women's Helpline, National Commission for Women.
Sure.
So I think I'll share this number later on with your side.
Sure.
Right?
No issues, ma'am. No issues at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that was a wonderful conversation. We got a lot of information from your end, and I'm sure our viewers, they are going to take all the advantage they can from this entire conversation. And yes, ma'am, thank you so much for giving us your time and being with us on this platform today. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you to all the viewers for being a part of this program. And so we took up certain questions, and ma'am answered all of them. They were really important. If in case you've missed this conversation, please watch it again on NCRT Official. That is our YouTube channel. Stay here, don't go anywhere. We're wrapping up this particular program, but we still have 2 more programs left for all of you. Our next upcoming program is Sayog, and the topic of discussion would be emotional maturity, what and how. Keep your questions ready and share them with us. Thank you once again. Take care. Namaskar.